Hey everybody, welcome back to the Knowledge Broker Podcast. I'm Joshua Campbell, your host, and joining me as always is...
Britney Spears!
Fair enough. Welcome, Britney.
I thought I would change it up a little bit.
Yes.
Change my identity for the day.
Yes.
But
Halloween's
no.
past.
But I know, it's like a month
nice
ago. Yeah. I know, missed opportunity. Well, anyway, guys, no, it's just boring old Trish, but she's back, so...
Boring old Trish.
Boring old Trish. How you doing, Josh?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Starting to get into the fall world. I think my first cold has passed. Up here in Toronto, it's our Toronto area. It's fall and winter's starting to kick into gear. We saw a little bit of snow on the ground. So now I'm getting past that and I'm realizing that we're here to stay.
Yeah, it's winter. It's cold.
Yeah.
It's terrible. I got into my car.
It's not terrible.
I got into my car today and I was like, oh, like my car told me it was like 19 outside too. And I was like, how dare you lie to me like that?
Yeah, it's not 19.
It's not.
Maybe 19 Fahrenheit.
Imagine, yeah. But yeah, so this podcast this week. This is let's just say the internet does not agree with us on a lot of our views. So I'm really excited for this episode.
I like that.
It kind of branches off from something that we talked about last week when we were talking about the 5 pillars of a good culture created by the leader. One of those pillars was motivation. And now one of the subcategories that I suggested that would be a really great way to motivate your staff was by rewards. And that is something that I said we would talk about in a later episode. And I thought, well, if it's on people's minds, let's talk about it in the next episode.
Why not? Yep.
So the whole episode today is about raises and rewards and what are the benefits of them? What are the effectivenesses of them? And most importantly, how can you motivate people without money? Because oftentimes, and as we'll get into a little bit more today, people automatically think that money is the key motivator. So we're going to dissect that a little bit more and get into it. But like I said, the internet does not agree with us. Josh and I talk about this quite a lot, and it was very interesting when I was doing my research to see how many people have a different opinion than we do. So I'm kind of excited, and I really encourage anybody who's listening or watching to leave us your feedback because, like I said, I would really be interested to see what other people have to say about this topic. So please, please, please leave some comments in the section below because, like I said, we really want to hear different opinions.
I'm curious about what people disagree with us about.
Yeah, no, it's...
Yeah,
it's an interesting thing. It's an interesting world.
Let's jump right into it then.
Yeah. Okay, so in that case, love the energy and the enthusiasm today, Josh. In your experience, what has motivated your employees or what has motivated you?
For me, motivation has been accomplishment. I find I'm not motivated by money. I'm not motivated by reward, typically. I find my motivation is by finishing something and having accomplishment, recognizing that I put time into something, some effort into something, and it's turned out the way that I wanted it, perhaps maybe a little bit less, perhaps a little bit more, but regardless, I finished it and I have a sense of tick the box.
Yeah. So is it self-recognition or
Yes,
like recognition
100%.
from other people?
I don't rely on the recognition of others. It's not really my forte. I find relying on the reward of others is a dangerous game because you might not get it and you'll probably be let down quite a bit. So typically I try to make sure that I have self-reward. For employees, I find it's different for everybody. Some people, you have to find out what the motivation is as to why people are working or doing what they're doing. Some people are motivated by money. Some people are motivated by a badge. There's a saying out there that I believe it was Napoleon. He talked about how give a man a reward and he'll fight to the death for you. So he was a big fan of putting medals on people's chests because before you know it, he put a medal on someone's chest, and that's really important to some. And they would go out and fight to the death. Some people, you couldn't give them an award, a reward. They wouldn't even, it doesn't even fit them and it doesn't matter to them. So if I think about like employees, it's almost like some people are motivated by money. And if that's the motivation, typically I find I don't know if that's the true 100% motivation. I think that a lot of people do like it.
We'll dive into that deeper. Don't you
Sure.
worry.
I find that people do like they're motivated by new ideas. They're motivated by creativity. They're motivated by independence. They're motivated, sometimes they're motivated by accomplishment. I don't find that that's something that is as, present amongst employees versus an employer.
The 5 that I found that across the board were like the 5 most things.
What motivates you?
Well, I'll get there. I'll get
Okay.
there. So the first one was money. The second was recognition, which is
This is you or
these are
people?
the top 5.
Okay.
So the recognition was the second one, and that's kind of what you said, self-recognition. What motivates me personally is recognition by my peers. So that was the second one. The third one was job satisfaction. Fourth was benefits, and the fifth was opportunities. Now, the top 2 were job satisfaction and money, which I think is very interesting because sometimes those two don't go hand in hand.
Job satisfaction and money. Money, easy. Job satisfaction, meaning are they happy?
Yeah, basically, like they were happy in the position.
So
that
if
they
they're
were
happy,
in.
they're motivated to continue to move forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a very interesting kind of subcategories because each bring along their own different elements. But yeah, to answer your question, recognition by my peers is my motivator. I too am not really motivated by money that much, even in my younger days, I guess.
Yeah.
I found that like all my jobs were still part-time stuff. So I was only getting minimum wage, and it was mostly about the recognition, or actually, no, to be completely honest, it was always the recognition. Like if I did something good and I knew it, it made it feel 100 times better if someone else recognized it as well.
Right. What was so the 5 again? One more time.
Okay, the 5 were money, recognition, job satisfaction, motivation, or benefits, opportunity.
Okay.
So then, in that case, do you think, I mean, roughly speaking, do most people get motivated by money, or do you think it really does just come down to depending? Like,
tough call. I'll start and I'll see where it ends.
Okay.
I know when I was younger, I wanted money as a young person. I had no money. Mom and dad have all the money. You have no money. And I know that I would, my dad would pay me to clean his golf clubs, and he would give me $5 to clean all of his golf clubs. And there was a time when I would clean the golf clubs the best that I possibly could to get $5 because I was happy to get $5. Then eventually I found a way to clean them a little bit quicker. My dad wouldn't notice, and I'd still get my $5 because I wanted the money.
Yeah. So you found ways to kind of cheat the system a little.
Well, yeah, but then all of a sudden you do them too quickly, and then someone recognizes that you're not doing your value, and then you recognize, and then you go, and then I fell back to doing a better job for the money. So then I recognized that money goes with quality and
Not time.
Sure. So before you know it, I didn't really associate money as my motivator because I recognized finish things with quality and you'll get money. So now I took money out of the equation as a motivator, and I went towards go things with quality because quality money is guaranteed.
Yeah.
So my motivator is not money. My motivator became accomplishment. Accomplish things as best as you possibly can, so that ultimately money is a nice side effect almost. So now looking the way that it is now, and I think about people with money, I think that people that are motivated by money perhaps, don't know, maybe don't have that sense of accomplishment yet. Money maybe still means a lot to them because they haven't associated money is a result of being highly committed to something, being satisfied, doing things to the highest quality. They still think that money is the only reason why they're doing it. I think that the why is more important than the money. Often people start with, I'm doing this because I'm going to make $5. That's great.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the why should eventually shift to something else. I feel like maybe it's a bit juvenile to stay on the money side. It's possible in my mind.
You know what? I am so happy you said that because that was one of the things that when I was doing my research, that was like the biggest thing I kept finding was that everything felt very juvenile. It felt very much like money equals happiness. Money is the satisfaction of everything.
Yeah.
And it kind of made me feel angry in a way because I was like, guys, money doesn't make you happy. Money is not the only thing in your life that will bring you joy. And we've talked about this before. There's not a lot of choices we get to make in this world, but a career and a job is one of them. So why not find ways to motivate yourself and bring in that quality, like you said, of the overarching thing?
Yeah, you said choice. There's not a lot of choice in this world. The choice, you can decide what motivates you.
Yeah, that is a choice that we get too.
Sure. Some people need a carrot, and the carrot that's dangling in front of them, which in my opinion is kind of like the word for motivation.
Yeah.
What is the carrot?
Yeah.
Some people could dangle like a $10,000 bonus check. which seems big because it's kind of like, oh, what can I do with that? And then all of a sudden the motivation becomes like, what can I do with 10,000? Versus I'm going to really set out to accomplish something bigger and better. I think if you go after the money,
that 10,000?
Yeah, and do it again, and again, because I think that the money side is shortcome, and I think that if you go out and you say, I'll earn that 10,000 on my way to earning the next 100 and 200.
Yeah.
And that's just a side effect.
Yeah.
I think that that's the stuff that makes people last, makes people rejuvenate, makes people get back out there again.
Yeah. Okay. So my overall arching question was, do you think that money motivates? And I think we both agree that it does to some extent.
Sure.
I do believe that money can be a motivator. When you get like a raise, say your third month in, it does feel pretty great, especially if it comes with recognition. If it's a surprise, I feel like the bonuses that are surprises are the best ones. They're not so fun when, you go into a job and they're expected.
Sure.
Which I think I'm also going to touch upon a little bit later. But yes, the only problem that I have with money as a motivator is that I think it is very short term. When you get a raise, and let's say it's $5 extra
short
an hour.
term, if that's your primary motivation.
Yes, if that's your primary motivation, very short term. Or even as an employer, if you're thinking, I need to motivate my employees, how can I do so? Here's $5 extra an hour.
Right.
I think that's a very small short-term fix
Band-Aid.
for the yes, exactly. Money is like a little band-aid.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, money will lose its magic. It will lose its appeal, and once it becomes routine, you'll be like, okay, well, my paycheck every week or every 2 weeks is $2,000. No surprise there. Now you have, say, more responsibility, you got more money, you're doing more like things at work. But is it still sparking the joy or the satisfaction or whatever other elements to motivate you?
I would isolate it, like what you just said there. Is it, if you took the 5 motivations that you had and you took all of them away except for money, people wouldn't keep the job.
So that's the thing.
But you could take them all away.
Yeah.
Or leave them all and take away money.
Yeah.
And people would be more likely to keep the job.
Yes.
I think that money is the one that I believe that people would consider last. You can't pay someone to do something that they are super unsatisfied with. They get no benefit, no reward, and they have no opportunity.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like slavery, paid slavery.
Mm-hmm.
I truly think that money is probably the thing, at least in my eyes and yours, that is not nearly as important on a scale.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And I think that creates more job satisfaction, more life satisfaction. I think that people that ultimately put money as a huge value in their life, it's a troublesome world.
It is. I completely agree. So then the next kind of section I want to get into is reward. So the 2 types of rewards that I can think off the top of my head would be like short-term incentives and bonuses. So one thing about bonuses that I've recently come to kind of discussed is that bonuses are something that a lot of us have this idea that, end of the year we get a bonus. And it's become something that it's like expected in some sick way where it's like people expect that they're going to get bonuses. It's
entitlement.
Exactly. It's entitlement. Like they feel like they are, even if they did not do a good enough job, people still feel that they're entitled to bonuses. And I think that is so wrong.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by like a reward, like people living in this world where they think that they should get that kind of stuff.
But why does the reward have to be money?
Exactly. Well, because I think that goes down to people who aren't satisfied with their jobs. And so they just look for the money.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And then the short-term incentives as a reward, just to give an example, I used to work somewhere where we did this and it pitted people against each other. Because it'd be like, okay, if whoever can get the highest sales of the week, you get $25 to Starbucks or something.
Yeah. Competition.
It's a competition. Yeah. And I find that it really drives a hole through your company because
I think that competition, the world's competitive.
Yeah.
Is it all in fun? That's different. Competition and fun, but then competitive forces come out and people want to be competitive. I don't think that competition is what breeds
hard workers?
Yeah, or breed success.
Yeah.
I think that people that are naturally competitive the people would say, oh, they're just super competitive. I don't think so. I think that they're super competitive with themselves. They want to constantly improve on themselves. So when you were talking about award and I think of accomplishment, I'm constantly trying to outdo myself. Which I think that almost everybody that is super successful does. Now, do they get awards and appreciation for it? Yes. But is that what they're thinking about when they go into it? I don't think so. If you're going to do a team environment, which we all agree is a better environment to be in, competition, it's almost like, hey guys, we're all going to competitively team up and outdo ourselves. Not where it's a hierarchy of they're the best and then you're the worst. No, we're all going to work together to make all of us even better. The rising of the tide. I like competition in that sense in a team environment. On an individual environment, I feel like it can be very self-centered at the same time that it can very objectify people for their weaknesses at the same time that they could be very strong. Now, I mean, we're getting a little bit probably off the map here with regards to what we're talking about, but in the end of the day, when we think about a reward, is money the best solution for reward?
It's not. And that's why we're going to segue into how to motivate people without money. Because I like what you said there about doing it as a collective and the rising of the tides, because that's something that I think is far more effective if you do things like, say, if you're doing sales, if you say at the end of the month, if we all can meet our goals plus, we're going to go for drinks or something like that.
We all get rewarded or none at all.
Exactly. It's like we all succeed or we don't succeed. In a way.
It makes the person that's at the top bring up the person at the bottom.
Exactly.
It makes the person at the bottom have the ability to go up instead of be left behind.
Absolutely. And it lets everyone play in their own fields, because that's another thing. Some people might have strengths in other departments than others. It's like you not everyone's going to be like the same. Everyone's different and everyone needs to be able to play to their strengths. So having something that's as a collective and not as an individual, it evens the playing field.
It highlights everyone's strengths.
Exactly. So let's get into this. So my first one, I'm only going to give you like 5, but if you check the blog in the caption or the thingy comments, below, the comments below, you'll be able to see the link to our website for our blog, and you can see like a bunch of my other favorites. So the first one is recognize great work, whether it be publicly, like you're declaring, oh my God, Josh, what a great job you did. And everyone's like,
it's probably the one that people don't get enough.
Yes.
And it's probably the one that people want more of.
Yes. Or even if, honestly, you can write a handwritten note saying thank you. You could send an email. You could give them a call. Just actually
a text message.
Literally, carrier pigeon. I don't care. Like, just having that recognition, just being like, hey, Josh, like, I thought that was really good how you handled that client or whatever. This can go both ways. It can go to your employer. I know we were talking, I think last week, about how we can motivate our employers and our bosses. That's one way you can do it too. Just being able to share
should be a two-way thing.
Absolutely. Being able to share the recognition. Get office snacks. Now, I know this might sound super, super low key and you might be like, why? Doesn't it elevate, like, people love snacks. People love little munchies.
Replenishments.
Yes, and it keeps them fueled. It's like one less thing to worry about. They might be able to walk over. They could meet their...
You mean like coffee in the office?
Yes, like coffee, snacks, biscuits, cookies.
The water jug.
Yes, exactly, the water jug. How many love stories have started because of a water jug? Just something like that. And you can do them literally. You can order snacks off like Amazon and online sources. Like, you don't have to go to Metro every single week and buy snacks. It's like you can do it very easy. And it's just a simple way to... motivate and brighten up someone's day.
I have another thought on that, but I want to hear more.
Okay. Get puppies for the office. You can work with local shelters. I worked for a couple months at Bell Media, and they brought puppies into the office one day when I was working at eTalk, and it was literally the best day that I worked there.
This is to create motivation?
Yes, because it's like puppy therapy. Have you ever heard of puppy therapy? Yeah, so it's kind of like you bring the puppies in for an hour, you can play with them, they walk around, they can sit on your lap, and it just kind of brightens your day by the joy of having a little fluffy companion. The other one I like a lot, and it's something that we do here, is take your team out to volunteer. So it's one thing if you take your team out for, drinks or whatever on Fridays, but taking your team out to volunteer and to give back to the community, it gives you such an amazing sense of, I guess, purpose and placement. It really makes people feel great.
It's more than work.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the give back where you recognize, even if you don't have anything in this world, if you give, you have something.
Yes.
You get something from that.
Exactly. And the best part is, and this is the thing that also drives me nuts, is if you're taking your team out to volunteer and your team goes, "Oh, are you paying us for this?" Get out.
Yeah.
When you're going to volunteer, that's the time that you can actually, like, your boss is literally saying, "Guys, we're going to volunteer. Like, we're going to do this. We're going to give our time, our free time, and get something out of it
There's leadership
ourselves."
in that. It's funny how, like you mentioned about, like, if are we getting paid for this? They're not the people that you want there anyway.
Yeah.
The neat thing is, I wonder if anybody has employees like that. If you have anybody that comes up to you and says, "Are we getting paid for this?" I feel like you should really consider if they need to be on your payroll. Like, you should almost really wonder what their motivation is. If they think, like, I'm not going to go and give back to the community unless I'm getting paid to do it, I would probably try to find a way to get rid of them.
Yeah, and also that would probably be a really key identifier that they don't like their work enough that they want to do something like that.
Not even necessarily a good human, right?
Oh yeah, they're a crappy human.
Yeah.
And then the last one, we talked about this a little bit. Ask them what motivates them. Taking the time to actually say, "I want you to just think about it. What motivates you?" Then you don't have to have the Band-Aid. You don't have to do the guessing and stuff. You can actually just say, "Oh, that's what motivates Sarah."
Yeah. We've talked about yours, and it's funny how we were at the very beginning of the show right now, we just talked about what yours was. And you said that it was being recognized from your peers.
Yeah.
And I would consider myself one of your peers, and it's easy as even turning around to you saying, "Good job today."
Yeah.
And it's more like not saying thank you, because thank you is more appreciative, but at the same time saying, "Good job today. I liked how you did that today." Even it's as simple as it's when someone says that to someone else, before you know it, they're saying it back to them.
Yeah.
And then the entire team feels like they're doing well. If you can picture like a football team, and I played sports throughout high school and still play the odd one, and the interesting thing is, if anybody ever went up to somebody at the very end of the day and started nitpicking at everything that they could have done better, it literally brings morale down. And it's to the point that they say that there's guys in this room that are locker room people. Locker room people boost people up. They get these guys on teams that are usually older, been in the league for a long time, and that's their job, is to bring people up, not to bring people down. Sure. No different than in an office place. If you have people in the office place that are nitpicking about how things, morale goes down, especially from leadership. If leadership's nitpicking and not boosting up, the water will literally go down. The tides will lower to the point that it would make an absolutely negative effect on everybody.
The other thing that I wanted to bring up really quickly, and this is where I think that we've talked a lot about this recently, is benefits. And I talked about that again as one of the motivation elements.
Yeah.
So right off the top of your head, do you have any thoughts about benefits?
It's a tight line right now, and I'm trying to evaluate this as a company but also as an individual. I feel like the biggest thing in this world that we have to identify is entitlement, and I think that the opposite of entitlement is gratitude or gratefulness. And I think that when we talk about people, when they think that it's theirs, they own it, it's free, this is mine, that's entitlement.
Yeah.
You ever seen people that go into an all-you-can-eat buffet and they eat as much as they can, and then they take home a doggy bag? The doggy bag people are stealing.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be consumed at home. This isn't takeout all you can eat.
Yeah.
If you see people that go to a coffee shop, do they all of a sudden see the bowl of milks and creams, and do they take home all that milk and cream and go, "That'd be good for my cereal tomorrow"? It's not for that purpose.
Yeah.
That's entitlement. And as long as benefits don't go with entitlement, as long as people realize, because otherwise you would just work for free and sit at home and work from home and not do anything and still get paid because you're entitled to getting paid because you have a job. So if people say that they want benefits, as long as people realize that benefits are a component of their pay, but at the same time, it's not like I'm going to go and use this as much as I can, because you might as well then not really work all that hard. I feel like as long as people go in with a gratefulness attitude, that they're grateful when they do these things, and they're grateful to their employers, or they're grateful to the world that they even have the opportunity, then I think that benefits are okay. But it's really tough because we can't control the way that other people interpret them.
Yes. And I think that right now, and especially, I mean, we've been talking about this a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of us grew up with this idea that the best place to work are the ones that offer you benefits.
Right.
And something that we've been talking about lately, and that's why I took to the internet to see And the internet
When we say
really
benefits, everybody, we're referring to like
health,
dentist and
yeah.
pharmacy and whatever.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. But the thing is, and that's where the internet really disagrees with us on, is that studies have shown that people will turn down a job because they do not offer benefits.
Right.
But it's not a significant amount. It's not like 75% of people looking for jobs require benefits.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, the ones that we thought, I know we've been talking about it, the ones that we thought that people would go after right away, like the dental, the optometry, the life insurance, the family coverage and stuff,
Right.
aren't the ones that people are really looking after. In these studies that they showed, where a lot of people were going after paid sick days, vacation days, and performance bonuses.
I'm starting to realize the benefits. Now I'm starting to realize the benefit behind benefits. A lot of people could get paid more money.
Yeah.
However, not everybody budgets to go to the dentist. Not everybody budgets to get their pharmacies paid for. Not everybody budgets to get massage therapy. If they did budget and they paid for it accordingly, they would probably appreciate it more.
Mm-hmm.
However, they don't. So I think that the benefit, as I said, behind benefits is the fact that it's almost a forced saving account that doesn't force you. It allows you the opportunity to go and do these things, because a lot of people don't put their slush fund for themselves away. So when
do they start saving when they're younger?
It's a tough call. They're not trained that way, because most of the time parents turn around and say, you need benefits because you're no longer on my plan.
Mm-hmm.
And before you know it, then they're saying the same thing to their kids, because everybody talks about benefits with regards to their children. And then around the age of 21 or whatever year they graduate university, they're off the benefits. So the parents say, go get your benefits because I don't want to pay for them anymore.
Yeah. A lot of the things that people wanted were things that I feel like if you just created that culture, you could offer.
You could.
So
You'd have to teach them how to do it, though, the skill of saving money.
Well, honestly, if you're bad, I'm not even getting into savers because I'm not even going to touch that.
Okay.
What I wanted to say, though, it's a hot topic for me personally. What I wanted to say, though, is that offices and businesses, they can offer benefits without actually being your traditional benefits.
Sure.
These are some of the ways that I think that you could. For example, with advancement within the company. Advancements within the company mean more skills, maybe a higher pay, having the ability to
off-site courses, learning.
There you go. You just, exactly. Right. Tuition reimbursements. If you say, I want to go to night school so I can be better in marketing. And
on-site gyms.
On-site gyms, even better. Sure. Yes. Training programs. So, if someone came here and was like, better example, me.
Yeah.
If I was like, Josh, I want to learn more about real estate. I don't want to become a real estate agent, but I'd like to learn more about real estate. And you were like, okay, Trish, I'm going to send you to a course.
Continuing ed,
Yeah, continuing education. You saying, I will cover that for you to go do.
Yeah.
That's a benefit. Flexible hours. So being able to work from home, saying to someone, okay, you got 40 hours to fill this week. I don't care if you come in at 6 a.m. and leave at 3. I don't care if you come in at 11 and leave at 8. Being able to kind of let people do their own hours.
These are not like the typical benefits that we're talking about. We're talking about different types, different ways to have benefits.
Yes, exactly. And these flexible hours too, like if all these people are asking for vacation time and days off, it's like, okay, well, if I'm gearing up for a vacation and I'm taking a week off, I say to Josh, okay, I'm going to be working like 13 hours days so that next week when I go away, I'm not going to feel like, oh my gosh, I haven't done this, I haven't done that.
That's ownership of jobs, which is probably another conversation.
That's another conversation. And then the last one is casual dress. I mean, we don't really live in a world anymore where women have to be walking around in like a 2-inch skirt and 5-inch heels, and guys don't have to be walking around in full-on suits. We have offices that are more casual now and can, especially for women, you don't have to wear makeup every single day. There's these are other benefits to jobs that aren't just the traditional ones, and I think that a lot of people should be really considering going into the workplace.
How many people actually write these things down? It's funny how like we're hiring here as well, and it's like, how would you ever put in there in the job postings, casual dress attire?
I would.
Flexible business hours.
I would.
Continue education promoted. Advancement opportunity, growth opportunities, community involvement, all these other benefits that people probably don't necessarily consider benefits.
And that's what we want to do. We want to try training people to start thinking of other benefits in the workplace. It's not all about dental. I mean,
outside the box.
If you refuse to get your teeth checked out because you don't have benefits,
Slightly
that's
worse.
on you, honey.
Yeah.
That is on you.
It's nasty.
Like, that is disgusting.
I think that a lot of people do that. I've talked to a few people recently, and I asked them, why not?
Yeah.
We fill our cars up with gas to drive them. Like, we don't clean our teeth. Like, how do we go out for lunch so much and then not go to the dentist for like the odd price?
Yeah, your back is hurting. Why wouldn't you go see a chiropractor?
Yeah, it's kind of a necessity. At the same time, it's funny how people don't consider it a necessity unless someone's paying for it. It seems odd. I think it's a cultural problem.
It is.
I don't necessarily believe that it's an individual problem. I think it's the culture.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of people in this world that say, I only go to the dentist when I have benefits. I personally, I pay for my dentist, and it's kind of like, I'm proud to pay for it because I want it.
So anyway, that's where we're going to wrap up today. Hot topic, but I think we got a lot of takeaway from it. So I'm happy we talked about it.
Cool. Appreciate it too.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, that is it for our episode today. Like I said, if you would like some more detail regarding our topics today, look in the comment section below for our link to our website, and you can check out the blogs. And of course, you can always follow us and reach out to us on social media at KnowledgeBRKR. We love hearing from you guys and hearing what your big ideas are.
Yeah, and if there's an opportunity for people to leave some comments as to what their like
Takeaways?
unpaid benefits are.
Yes.
Let's call it unpaid benefits. I'm curious what other people have that are unpaid benefits as the reason why they stay in their job, or reasons why they continue in their job,
or how
things
to motivate their employees.
Sure. Both sides, employee and employer. But that's all for today.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, have a great week.
Yeah, take care. Bye. Thank you very much for stopping by our channel. If you have any questions, or if you're looking to buy or sell, go to our website and contact us today. Knowledge is power and creates experts in understanding. If you want power, hit thumbs up on this video and subscribe to our channel so you can get weekly videos from me, your knowledge world.